like, how do you think like meditation could be helpful for athletes?
Mm-hmm. Oh, now we're getting going. This is where I love talking about this. I think there was such a big change in my game where when I found like my own form of meditation, because I think people think meditation, you're sitting there, you're like, boom, crisscross, like it's a boring thing, which there's some forms of meditation where you're like, dude, this sucks right now, but that's okay. But I think the biggest thing is just like awareness and practicing that. So for me, when I first started getting into like meditation, it was actually like during my hitting sessions. I would go in the cage literally by myself, and like there was a self-feeding machine, and I'd be like, look, I don't care about my swing right now or anything. I want to focus on like seeing the ball and being intentional about like locking in on this one thing. And that's a form of meditation, like bringing all your awareness to one thing. You can bring it to your breath, to whatever it is, just about your awareness and noticing like, well, that swing, I literally wasn't even looking at the ball. I was worried about how my body felt, you know? So I can go on for days, but I think like the mental part is you have to have it to be elite. Like you have to have it to be successful. It doesn't matter what you got going on physically if your mental's not there.
That's interesting as far as the like that type of meditation, because you don't hear people talk about like that type of meditation as far as because people do think sitting, you know, eyes closed and just like, you know, being in space, which is probably fine as well. But like that's more of almost like a visualization thing too, right? With what you were, and that is so important. I mean, I think I read a story about like Michael Jordan, and someone was asking him like, you know, why he's so clutch, you know, and like, how do you, you know, always end up hitting these game winners? And he's like, I visualized that ball going through, you know, 25,000 times before that day. He's like, it was just another rep for me, you know, in my head. He's like, you used to just visualize it over and over and over again. So yeah, no, I think that's like so important. Is there, so you kind of started with your meditation that way. Did it progress into other ways, or is that kind of like where it stayed? Is that kind of like your form of meditation first in the softball realm?
Right. It kind of varies day to day, but again, it's kind of like knowing yourself and what you need. Like some days I'll sit, if I feel like, dude, I'm really tired today, I'll just sit for like 20 minutes and just have my eyes closed and just think. And it's okay. I think also another misconception is people think meditation is like, you're not supposed to think of anything, but it's really about like noticing your thoughts and kind of like guiding them a certain way. But yeah, in college, that was for sure my form of meditation. There was no way I could just sit there and just think. But yeah, that's actually cool that you say Michael Jordan said that, because I feel like there was a lot of situations in like games where there was a walk-off or whatever, and everyone's like, how do you do that? Like, that's crazy. Like, no, I'd like train for this moment. I would literally get in the cage and lock in and be like, look, it's the bottom of the seventh. We're playing this team. This pitcher's throwing, and I'm not going to make the moment bigger than it needs to be, because like I know I've out-trained whoever's on the other side of the diamond. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Did what year did you start kind of doing that? I don't know if I might have missed that.
It was, geez, I don't even know what the year was, but it was right before my Triple Crown year and winning Pac-12 Player of the Year. And what's crazy is like you go through it and you're so in the moment that I like honestly didn't recognize that I was like really, really popping off because I was like, this is so fun. It feels like I'm just training every day. Like I'm seeing the ball like a beach ball because I like practice it. You know what I mean? I practice like just looking at only the ball, and that sounds silly, but that's such a loss. Like we all worry about mechanics and things like that. I'm like, no, like, are you like seeing the ball from release to when it gets to you? And just like locking in on that aspect.
If you enjoyed that clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the full podcast, click right here. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you find this content valuable.